Greetings, veggie lovers, and welcome to my favorite time of the year. Yes, it's market season here in Kansas City, and the local farmers markets are overflowing with sweet, sweet corn, succulent tomatoes, and the ever plentiful zucchini. But what about beets? Yes, in spite of the drought, there have been a lot of beets at the markets too. You may not be convinced that you're a fan, but stay tuned because I've got 3 brilliant ways to prepare these beauties, and I just bet you'll come around. Beet recipe number 1, refrigerator pickled beets. Now, I've never made these personally, but this is Glory's special recipe, and I can tell you that they're absolutely delicious. They're very simple as well, and a great thing to do if you have an excess of beets. I've got my pickling liquid boiling on the stove. It's extremely simple, this recipe, and you can find it at our website, vegwithlisa.com. It's simply tarragon vinegar, sugar, salt, and water. Beet tip number 1, how to roast your beets. A lot of recipes will call for making a foil packet and roasting the beets in the oven in that. You can do that if you want. I find that to be a little bit cumbersome, and it often makes a mess in your oven. So I've got a pan here that I've already roasted, and I'm just going to show you what I do. I simply put my beets and any seasonings and flavorings that you need on a cooking sheet, and then I cover it with foil, and I roast them in the oven that way. Beet tip number 2, how to tell when they're done. If they're about this size, they're going to take a while. Again, common for recipes to tell you 45 minutes or so. I roasted these for an hour and a half, and you can tell they're still firm to the touch, which is the way you want them. I like to use a paring knife and poke it, and if you get slight resistance to the beet, it's about right. Beet tip number 3, how to peel these bad boys. It's messy. You got to get your hands in the proverbial dirt, but I'll show you a couple different ways to try. I usually just take them over to the sink. I slice the stem end and the root end off. Have a paring knife handy, and sometimes, if you're lucky, they just peel off. Just like that. Look at that. That is awesome. Every once in a while, you need to get your paring knife in there. Then you can run them under a quick rinse of water, and voila. But look at your hands, Glory says. Yeah, that's kind of messy. So Glory likes to be a little bit tidier about peeling her beets. So she gets a towel. She plops a beet in there, and she rubs it. And she rubs it. Ooh, surprise, a yellow beet. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. You know what, Glory? I think you may have convinced me. This is a little bit easier and not so messy. Either way, a perfectly peeled beet. Actually, I've never made this recipe before. I've tasted Glory's, and they are awesome. So I'll show you how simple it is to put together. My pickling liquid has boiled and is cooling on the stove. I've roasted and peeled my beets. Check these out. Aren't these beautiful? These actually came from Brooks Bad Seed Market down in the Crossroads District. The last ingredient is a red onion, and I'm pretty happy that this came from my mom's organic garden up in Iowa. I'm going to layer the sliced beets with thinly sliced little half-moon shaped wedges of the red onion, and Glory showed me a really neat trick to do that, and it's called Frenching. Ooh la la! Peel the onion, cut it in half, and turn it on its side, and just take your knife, make sure it's nice and sharp, and start cutting in and down, and you'll get these fabulous little half-moon wedges. Once you get to the top, simply turn your onion on the side and continue. Beets roasted, beets peeled, onions Frenched, in the jar they go. So I'm going to start with my yellow beets, and maybe I'll even have enough just for a jar of yellow pickled beets, but you can mix them, that's fine too. Just going to put a few beets in at a time, And then a couple of my little Frenchy onions. Beets and onions layered. In goes my liquid. You can see that I've run out of brine, so I'm going to need to make a little bit more to finish my red guys. But the yellow ones are good to go. I'll put my lid on, shake it up to get the liquid all in there, put it in the refrigerator for 3 to 10 days, let them pickle. Beet tip number 4. Don't you dare throw away the greens. If you're lucky enough to find a bunch of beets with the greens still attached, by all means snap them up. This is one of my favorite ways to prepare the beet root with the greens. Now don't despair, you can still make this recipe even if your beets don't have the tops. You can just substitute a small bunch of Swiss chard or some fresh spinach. I have roasted up another batch of beets, and another really cool thing to do is, if you have a smoker or know somebody that does, like one of your neighbors, is to smoke your beets instead of roasting them. They're absolutely delicious that way. And that's actually what I've done here. These beets have been smoked. I sauteed a little bit of red onion and some garlic and some olive oil, chopped up my smoked or roasted beets, and added some parsley. And now I'm going to cook the greens in with the beets, which are already cooked. My chopped beet tops, a little bit of salt. I'm just going to saute this until the greens wilt. The greens are starting to wilt. I'm going to season the dish with the rest of the ingredients. Got some chopped walnuts, some freshly ground black pepper, generous sprinkling of fresh dill. Give that all a stir. Oh yeah. Beets are so good for you, but not just the root, the greens as well. They're extremely rich in vitamins and minerals. That's why it's such a shame to throw them away. I'm going to turn off the heat, add a little sprinkle of balsamic vinegar, which really brings out the sweetness. Yeah. If I haven't won you over yet, for sure this recipe is going to do it. This is Jana's recipe for infused beet vodka. This beet I actually grew myself in the Girly Garden, which is my garden that I tend with my girlfriend Katie at Sprout Community Garden. I've chopped it up, peeled it and chopped it up, and it's been steeping in a good quality vodka for, 7 to 10 days. Look at that color. That is beautiful. Wow. That is some gorgeous nectar. Smells like beets. I'm going to show you how to make a tasty cocktail with it. It's a beet feast. All right. Beautiful pickled beets, beets and green salad, which I love to serve with hard cooked eggs. And now the icing on the beet cake, I'm going to whip up a cocktail with Jana's beet-infused vodka. I never claimed to be a cocktail mixologist. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. And by the way, if you prefer a non-alcoholic beverage, juice the beet. It's delicious, and you'll have this beautiful colored beet juice that you can use in this recipe, just the same as this vodka. So a little bit of vodka, a little squeeze of fresh pink grapefruit juice. Top it off with some lemon-flavored sparkling water. And garnish with grapefruit wedge. Now let's check out these beets and greens. This is one of my favorite recipes. You can find all of these recipes at vegwithlisa.com, but this is absolutely fabulous. The salad is great served at room temperature, slightly warm, or chilled. Cheers.